So there's that for that. Okay. So Coco Jones. I was gonna save this for the music segment because Coco Jones and Rico Nasty just dropped some new music the other day, but I wanted to discuss Coco Jones and Heard on the Curb real quick. So I had some thoughts. I listened to the new song Taste, and I watched the new video for it, and I had some initial thoughts that I think I'm still going to discuss with y'all. But I think the song, I've listened to it a few times since it came out yesterday, and I gave it the car test as well, the headphone test and the car test. And it's a grower for sure. The song is a grower for sure, but I do have some reservations or critiques about it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to say. The song samples Britney Spears' Toxic, and I just think that with the song, I think that they could have it could have been better produced, in my opinion. Like, I'm not really against samples. I like samples that are used creatively, and they used the Toxic hook, and they kind of pitched it down. I'm gonna play the song for you after we done recording. But they kind of pitched it down, that Toxic hook, and I just feel like I rather have Coco Jones sing the Toxic hook, or like sing the Toxic hook but change the wording for your song, because they sampled the taste word in it, because the song is called Taste, but then as the chorus goes, it goes into the regular "You're toxic," the regular Britney Spears Toxic chorus. And I just feel like the song could have been better produced. I feel like, Coco Jones could have sung the hook, and they could have changed the words but still interpolated the cadence of the hook, in my opinion. And as for the video, there's a few things. When I watched the video, I was just like, dang, like, it could have, like, she's beautiful. She's a beautiful girl, and I know that she worked hard on the choreo. She's beautiful. It's a beautiful, she looks great. But I just wish that there was more time taken on conceptualizing the visual. Like, sometimes when you watch music videos, for me, I can either, whether I'm right or wrong, whatever, but sometimes when I'm watching videos, I can tell when there were storyboards involved, or like sketches or whatever, or if they booked the space first and went and figured it out and did what they had to do for the space. So I'm not really against, like I said, like, I understand, like, this is a business, so like, you're granted certain budgets based on the type of artist that you are and the success that you've had prior. But it seemed like they like booked like don't you know how like here at the studio where like people like downstairs you can book like a space, and they have different rooms of themes, or like even with like a selfie museum, or like a selfie museum, a selfie museum where like they have different sections of different themes, and you can take, like, it felt like they were at like a studio or like a warehouse where they had like different rooms of like themes, and like she just did that. There was no like real like fleshed out concept, if that makes sense. It was just like, let's just look sexy, in my opinion. But like, even with the whole studio thing, the studio space type of thing, like, I feel like my friend was telling me, she's like, yeah, like she thinks that like a lot of artists probably book studio spaces to shoot videos at, or warehouses to shoot videos out. That's fine, but like, I feel like there's ways for you to, it all depends on like how you edit it and how it's shot to make it what it is, or to give it that quality. I brought up I was talking to my friend, because my friend she also does music. I brought up to her Victoria Monet. So Victoria Monet's All Right video, it seems to me that they probably shot that whole thing in like a warehouse maybe, or like a studio, some type of space. But the way that it's shot, and the way that it's edited, and the effect of the camera and the choreo and all these things, like, it didn't matter if they shot it at a warehouse or whatever. It just, the creativity behind it upped the quality. For the Coco Jones video, it seemed like everything was shot straight on. Don't you know how like sometimes you can edit things in a way where like it can be like the ant style where it's like below and like it's big and like, you know, it was just shot straight on a lot of times, I feel like. And she had one scene where she was like in a clear cube box, and all I thought of was Chloe and Halle Do It video. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, this has been done before. Then there was another scene where like she wore like all red, and like she was like, you know, being sexual in all red or sensual in all red, and it reminded me of like Normani's Wild Side, because they definitely like online some people like the song, but some people like the video and everything, but then other people, like, you know, they brought up Normani and they brought up certain things because the choreo in Coco Jones's video was definitely Normani-esque, in my opinion. So it was the red section that they had, and it was and then it was one section of the video where like she was swinging on like a circular, you know, that big circular like metal thing where like the girls swing around in. That was something else that I feel like that has been seen a million times, and I feel like she was swinging on it, and she didn't have the right hair for it. She had like straight hair, and then when she was swinging on it, the hair looked out of place. You're swinging and your hair looks out of place. I just didn't like the hair choice for that. I think she had the wrong hair for that scene. Then there was a scene where she was dancing. She was dancing with the guy, the man. She had on black, I believe, and like that definitely looked like a Normani thing to do, almost like, you know, we've seen, you know, I feel like, you know, some artists have like their niche. Or some artists have, is niche the right word to say? Because I think sometimes niche can be like a negative word too. I don't know. Well, some artists have their style, or they see something and people reference it to so and so, or whatever. And you know, I just feel like watching Coco Jones's Taste visual, it just reminded me of Normani, and it reminded me of other aspects of other videos that I've seen other recent girls do. She was on the Jennifer Hudson show the other day, and she discussed that, she's an R&B girly, but she also likes pop and things like that. And she said, taste is something that represents how she loves like pop and stuff too. And she wants to, I understand she wants to be well-rounded. She doesn't want to like be in the R&B soulful box, but I just think that like, I think that it could have been more time spent on the concept and just the more of like the individuality when it comes to her. And this is like her first single for her debut album. This is like her official first single for her debut album that she just announced. So I just think that, and like I said, I understand budgeting, I understand all those things, but I just think that there's a way that you can still work with what you have, but then polish it up to make it what it can be. But I don't think the Normani comparisons that I saw online for this, I don't think it was messy. I think it was pretty fair. I'll say that. I think it was pretty fair. I think it was pretty fair. Yeah, to me, in my opinion. But I love Coco Jones. I love her music. She has a wonderful voice. I love her personality. Like, I love that she's like a well-rounded artist. She's a well-rounded entertainer for sure. And I've never seen her dance that way. She was doing a lot of sensual choreography in this video, and it reminded me of Normani's Wild Side video, because Normani's Wild Side, she was doing a lot of sensual dancing, and she had like different sections of like, she did a thing where like, they shot it in sections, like this is one room, this is like a red room, this is like a white room, this is like this and that, but it looked good, and it was well shot, and it was well edited. It looked good, even if it wasn't at the same warehouse, whatever, it doesn't matter, it looked good. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think for this Taste visual, I wouldn't have done what she did. I wouldn't have done it in the sections and the things that she did. I would have figured out a way. Like, I would have changed the way that they made the song. I'll say that. But then for the visual, I think that it should have been slowed down a little bit more I guess she didn't want to be slowed down. I guess she's trying to get away from the slow stuff. I get it, but I think she could, for the cover art, like her hair was like, she was, let me make sure, let me look at the cover art real quick. Hold on. Let me look at the cover art real quick. Because with the cover art, I don't know if like there was like, if she was like glistening. Let me just look real quick. I'm Googling the cover art for it. I think for the concept, she maybe could have like played on like maybe glistening, like if it's a sensual song, maybe glisten, maybe, or she doesn't want to be, if she doesn't want to look sweaty, maybe just like play off the word taste, like be sexual with different tastings of things, if that makes sense. I mean, not to look corny, but like, you know, play off of taste. You know what I mean? And like maybe like I'm for some reason I'm picturing like concrete walls or something like that. Like I feel like it could look like some. I feel like the visual could have been more cohesive to me, in my opinion. Like pick a concept and like stick to it and like tie it in together instead of doing different sections and different looks, because like that doesn't always work all the time, doing looks and sections all the time. And like I don't like, if I saw another girl do something where like that clear box in that scene, y'all, like it screamed Chloe and Holly. And like I as an artist, I would want to stay away from that. I would want to stay away from elements that recent girls have done, you know what I'm saying? And then like a super sidebar, Britney's a legend and an icon, but I just feel like Toxic is not that old of a song for you to be sampling this way and like having it in the chorus like that, in my opinion. Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't like that. I don't like that. I feel like she could have like interpolated it better or something. Like even when like it popped in my head. I can't remember what's that Halsey song. That Halsey song where like she kind of like interpolated Cry Me a River, I think. What song was that? Oh my God. Was it Cry Me a River that she interpolated, or it was like, was it an NSYNC song or something like that? It was something that, let me Google it. Hold on. But she just like stuck it in there so like it flowed with it. Hold on. Halsey. Oh my God, what song is that? Sampling, I don't know, Justin Timberlake. I'll just say that. I don't know if it was Justin Timberlake or if it was an NSYNC song. Without Me. Yes, it was called Without Me, and she it says Halsey wrote the song with Brittany Amarillo, Amy Allen, and Louis Bell, while production was handled by Bell and Dylan Balls. It interpolates Justin Timberlake's Cry Me a River with Timberland, and Scott Storch credited as co-writer. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Without Me. Let me. I'm not gonna play it, but yeah. So but it's like the way she flowed that in her song, it just, you know, whatever. But it went with it. It was hers. She made it hers. But like the fact that they used Britney's like full hook and like they just pitched it down. I don't like that. I'm gonna play it for you. You know, Gerald's a producer. Anywho, there's that for that. And then ASAP